This is the Relevant Podcast.
It's episode 1165, and it's the Relevant Podcast here in Orlando. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and joining me from Loverland, Virginia is Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello.
From Nashville, artist, producer, mogul, Derek Miner.
What up, though?
And that's it. Marty is not available today, and Emily is traveling to Dallas today. So there you go. It's the three of us.
All right.
There you go. Well, we have a great show coming up. First of all, our guest today is Crowder. He has a new album coming out at the end of the month, May 31st. And today you're going to hear about it for the first time. You're going to hear some music for the first time. We don't know if his label's okay with us running it this early, but guess what? You benefit, listener. You are going to get a first look at Crowder's new album coming out in a few weeks. Also, at the end of the show, we have hot takes. But speaking of hot takes, I wanted to bring up America's hot take right now. I figured who better to discuss this with than two white guys and a rapper. But what are y'all thinking about the Kendrick Drake beef?
Here's all I have to say is I'm not into the beef world, right? Even I couldn't even watch the Tom Brady roast. It's just all too mean. Right. But
the Tom Brady roast was pretty epic. I'm sorry. It was great.
But the Kendrick Drake thing, it's I played in a lot of fantasy leagues over the years, and there's always trash talking. That's funny that right. Email threads go and these guys are going at each other. Somebody crosses a line and then it all holds barred. It's about spouses. It's about their jobs. It gets personal and awkward.
Yeah. We're not doing mama jokes anymore. No.
This is I'm backing out of the thread here. I'm sorry you declined the trade, but this is getting too personal. You guys probably aren't talking anymore. I feel like that's the Drake kind of thing. Okay, this is getting very uncomfortable.
Hold on, time out. People start talking about each other's mama.
No, I'm just saying general clowning people. I'm saying it's not
if that happened in somebody's fantasy football league, that's crazy.
Listen. I've seen. I was at two fantasy football drafts where there was people had to be separated physically. I've seen it. I've seen lines crossed. But either way, the Kendrick Drake thing, it's just making me uncomfortable.
It's making you uncomfortable. You think it's gone too far? Okay. Interesting. I don't like what it's doing to friendships. People are having to pick sides. This is the North-South in the Civil War. This is are you team us because we're right and you're wrong? I mean, this is partisan politics. This is Biden and Trump.
But it's not hey, your rhymes are lame and you wear fake jewelry. I'm going to accuse you of the worst crimes against humanity and drag your wife and kids into this. I don't feel good about this.
But here's the crazy part. Did you see Joe Biden used one of the Kendrick's lyrics in a diss to Donald Trump? We are at this point, this thing is dead. It's cooked. This is
what's an 85-year-old white guy? Yeah.
It's over. It's over. This is we're dabbing now. It's over. It's where we at.
But like I said, it just feels like it feels like there is no just good-natured back and forth. It is I'm going to post a picture of your house on the internet and literally your security guard's going to be shot and I'm going to, insinuate you've committed, awful, acts against.
So you think Kendrick's gone too far?
I think the whole thing has gone too far. I feel like I don't, it's not fun. You know what I mean? It's one thing. It's one thing when people are going back and forth. At least the Tom Brady roast was fun, right? Well, right. It was mean, but everyone was laughing. This is I don't know, man. This seems pretty real here.
If you talk to certain people in certain group chats, they're talking this is not fun and games. This is very serious street code stuff. It's way more serious than casual music fans realize.
No, these are not rap lyrics to me. When I'm listening to the songs, when I was listening to the songs, I'm like, oh, no, these guys don't like each other. That this is not, this is, and then as you start going back through earlier catalogs, lyrics that kind of stuck out now make a little bit more sense to me. Like there was lyrics where you just think someone's just bragging, just talking about I'm better than you. But it's like, nah, some of this stuff was like subliminal shots to a very specific
to Drake
person. Yeah, on both sides. So I don't know,
even the Black
man.
Panther song that Kendrick did. I mean,
right. I don't want your congratulations. I was like, wow, okay. I just thought he was just talking to some homie from the hood or something that, you know, I didn't think he was talking to Drake. I hope that we died down and we done seen the last of this. I hope that, you know, I mean, security guards getting shot and unhinged people are walking into people's properties, and we got allegations that have serious implications. Like, y'all, we gotta let's pipe down a little bit. This ain't rap no more. This is crazy.
Well, Derek pointed out last week. Derek, you were saying last week, like this is like when he started calling Drake a pedophile, like that triggered Pizzagate type conspiracy people who think that the Illuminati and famous people and celebrities really are trafficking children. And you said like when like the trespassers and the mentally unwell people that have been, you know, trying to get into Drake's home, like those may be like this sort of people that showed up at the pizza parlor in DC. Like those may not be like rap guys trying to like get revenge for Kendrick. That may be people legitimately thinking there's an Illuminati pedo ring and Drake is part of it. And that's crazy. Like this all of a sudden, like this isn't rap anymore, you know? So
at that point, facts don't matter. Like if it doesn't matter because now there's a narrative of conspiracy. And then now he's already been lumped in it because he's successful. Right. But then now you got a guy that's saying, no, I know this to be true. So now that'll give someone that's really unstable a lot of reason to want to do something like trespass on somebody's like property. So.
It's one thing when like there's like I said, like two athletes who are talking trash about each other and everyone and you
like
can
Antonio
jump in the
Brown
tweets.
and like braggadocious and clowning on another guy, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is fun and enjoyable, and like it makes me like the entertainment more. This I don't know, it just kind of makes you feel like gross.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I want to like just listen to this for fun on a jog or something. You know?
A Christian rap beef, though, would be the funniest thing on the planet because they would be dissing one another without trying to be mean or out of line with the scripture. So it's like it would probably be the most passive aggressive diss battle you've ever seen. Like it would sound like two aunties trying to spill tea on each other without saying it directly, you know? That's what it sounds like. You know who
actually, now that I'm thinking about it, like what could be an actual Christian rap battle is there's two types of Christian hip hop, as you well know. There's the holy hip hop, Miles Minnick kind of like, kind of people. I'm not saying Miles Minnick by name, but then there's no. I'm not saying Miles by name. I'm saying there's a grouping of holy hip hop kids.
Yeah.
And then they see like guys like Marty as like sellouts or like you compromise. I mean, they wouldn't say, I'm not saying Miles said that about Marty. I'm just saying there's two types of Christian hip hop. And I could see them beefing because those holy hip hop kids are militant sometimes about like faith, whatever. I could see them kind of calling out, selling out Christian hip hop type scene.
But here's the thing.
Let's do it. Let's go. Miles Minnick, if you're listening. No, I'm joking. I don't.
No. But the methodology is different in like the Christian world. Like it's very passive because it's the same thing that a family member will do at the Thanksgiving prayer. And we need to pray for cousin Johnny. We are just so concerned about how much wine he's had before dinner tonight.
The gossip prayers. That's like, the best.
That's how it works. It's like,
dude, youth group was full of gossip prayers. You either had your unspokens or you were probably shading somebody that you were concerned about in the spirit, like somebody's walk or something.
That's what I'm saying. That's how it works in that world.
This has happened before, though. There's this rapper. There's this rapper.
Cross movement?
Nah, a dude named Shaolin. He sound like he reading a book when he rapping. But he was he dissed Lecrae one time. And I was like, oh shoot. Like he like dissed him for real. But it was the most
take down the king. Yeah.
It was nice though. It was like this is the kindest diss ever.
I respectfully request that you change your ways, brother in the Lord.
I respectfully request that you start rapping about theology again, sir, please. Like, that's really what it was.
Yeah, exactly. Please, sir. Yeah.
Your giftings are too great to not rap. Yeah, it's like it's like qualified. Yeah. Like, I'm going to insult you, but first I'm going to say a couple nice things. Just to set the
compliment
stage
sandwich is a Christian rap beef. Compliment, critique, compliment. There you go. Oh, man.
I love it.
All right, we'll move the show along. Stay tuned. Right now, up next, it's Slices.
Once upon a time in the middle of an exit line, faking lives melted, all you're throwing dollars and dice.
Do you wanna step inside a hologram of your life? Love is waiting in the middle of an exit line.
If you wanna fall in love in a bar tonight, do you wanna fall in love with a broken heart? Do you wanna ride?
You're listening to Hines and Beck. The song is Boom Boom Back. Today's podcast is brought to you in part by Mercy Ships. Globally, 5 billion people lack access to surgical care. In sub-Saharan Africa, there's only one surgeon for every 200,000 people. Mercy Ships provides free, life-transforming surgeries for people who have little to no access to medical care. They help the blind see, straighten twisted limbs, remove deadly tumors, treat cleft conditions, and so much more. With state-of-the-art hospital ships, they provide safe surgery to children and adults living with treatable conditions, and it's completely free of charge. They do all this work with an all-volunteer crew of professionals who donate their time and talents. Surgeons, stewards, nurses, engineers, and more make the world a better place. Your donation today provides free, safe surgeries to people in desperate need of help. All gifts are matched, so please donate today at mercyships.org/relevant. Okay, it's time for
Slices.
What do you have, Jesse?
All right, so there's been a casting call for the show The Righteous Gemstones. If anyone in the Charleston area is looking to be on a future episode. Now, I'll read what the casting call is for, but then I kind of want to do a thing about
we need to show up.
That's cool.
Like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's they're looking for a skateboard BMX request. Basically, people who are skateboarders or BMX riders they need to be intermediate level and can ride and perform tricks in the background. Also, if you are a Civil War reenactor, they're also looking for people as Civil War soldiers. You'll be extras in potentially extras in an episode of Righteous Gemstones. This is maybe very curious, by the way, about the future, about the upcoming season. I think it'll be season 4 of Righteous Gemstones because up to now, I have no idea where they're going with the Civil War reenactors. I have no idea what the plot line will be that will require that. But I do have some thoughts about the BMX skateboarders because because up to now, the one thing that show has done well, especially for people who grew up in a certain area of evangelicalism, is that they've had really astute parodies of trends sort of in that world. It kind of started with, and still to a degree, the kind of charismatic television prosperity gospel thing. They had a whole thing about apocalypse, end times, kits. They had a whole thing about the power team, about like men's monster truck rallies, about like, what was Adam Devine's like anti-smut force, like sort of like going into porn convention type of evangelicalism. Like they've really had astute send-ups of different little kind of interesting trends that in hindsight are kind of weird. Like in the moment you're like, oh, look what these creative evangelists are doing. But I wonder if this is going to be like the Stephen Baldwin era of evangel. Remember Cameron back in the day when he had that Living It, the skateboard?
Jesse, Derek, did you know about Stephen Baldwin's skateboard ministry called Living It? His youth magazine?
So I knew that he had became a Christian. I did not know about anything about it. Like it just seemed weird.
Oh, he's a hardcore Christian.
Yeah.
Hardcore. This is Haley's dad. Okay, Jesse, Do you know my Stephen Baldwin Living It story?
I do. Where wasn't it?
Okay.
Can I see if I'm recounting it correctly?
Yes. There's two elements to the story that are both surreal.
And both could honestly be, if this scene were to happen in an episode of Righteous Gemstones, where Danny McBride is subbed in for you, it would not be out of place. Where Danny McBride gets invited to a hotel suite.
Okay, I got to tell the weird interaction prior to what you're about to say. Okay, so we have, Derek, this is like 2005. This is relevance. There was a big summer trade event where you, as a publisher, we were posting books and magazine at the time. You would go present. Buyers from all the retail shops would come, make their big orders. It was a way to get into retail. This doesn't exist anymore, but that's how it was. Anyway, we had little booth, because we're just a little indie startup, self-funded, no investors. And then finally in 2005, I go all in. I invest in a big booth. We have the TVs. It's cool. You can walk through it. It's a huge investment. Anyway, we're there. We're proud. We're kind of saying to the Christian industry, relevance here. We're legit. Magazine had been out for a couple of years at that point. So at one point, Dallas Jenkins, the creator of The Chosen, he and I were we had done a project together, so we knew each other. So he was there. So he came by the booth. We were chatting and whatever. And then the next day he comes by with Stephen Baldwin. And he just wanted me to meet Stephen Baldwin because Stephen Baldwin was there because he was launching this Living It thing. And Stephen Baldwin, this is me. I'm 26 years old. Just, we're trying our best, indie. And Stephen Baldwin meets me and goes, and Dallas is telling him about Relevant and it's cool and it's doing well and all this stuff. And first thing Stephen Baldwin says to me is, what's your circulation? What's your magazine circulation? And I said, well, we print 75,000. He goes, I'm launching a magazine called Living It and our circulation is going to be 1 million. And he walked off.
What?
He walked off.
What a jerk.
Yeah,
that's how I met the guy. And I'm like, Dallas is standing there like, I'm so sorry, dude. He was so embarrassed. That night, I get invited to Dallas's, his dad, Jerry Jenkins, who authored
the
Left
co-author
Behind.
of Left Behind.
Oh, shoot.
Was into poker. Jerry loves playing poker. I love playing poker. So he's like, hey, I'm going to have a game tonight in my room. You should come by. I'm like, I'm there. So I'm there playing poker with Jerry Jenkins. Dallas is there, a couple other guys. Knock, knock, knock on the door.
Oh, man.
Dallas opens the door. It's Stephen Baldwin. Okay, so we're in Jerry Jenkins's hotel suite playing at a table. There's the bed, the TV, and that's about it. You want to join the game? Stephen's like, no, I don't gamble. Holier than thou. I don't gamble. So what does he do? He goes to Jerry Jenkins's bed, pulls down the covers, and gets in his bed, pulls up the covers, and lays there.
Did he have a skateboard with him? Did he have a skateboard in the bed?
Yeah, he brought a skateboard with him, and he just laid inside Jerry Jenkins' bed. We're all stunned, what do you do with this guy? And he just put on the TV and just started watching TV, and we're just playing poker, and Stephen Baldwin's in bed next to us. It was so weird, man.
Bro.
So
I remember I was at a music festival. It was one of the big Christian music festivals, and he was speaking. And, he did his speech. And later I saw him riding down the sidewalk on a skateboard, wearing a leather jacket and a pork pie hat. And it was a vibe. And I was kind of just
the
impressed.
cranberry guy, the cranberry juice guy.
Nah, he ain't got that much sauce. Ain't no way he had that much sauce.
Not that kind of vibe.
Oh my
man.
gosh. I didn't know Steve.
Either way.
Why he's such a jerk?
Either way, because the Righteous Gemstones is having skateboarders and BMXers.
There you go. So they're tapping into the Living It thing.
My theory, that's my theory. Like I said, they kind of did the Triple X Church type of thing. They kind of did the Monster Truck Men's Rally. They did the Power Team. They did End Times, scams, Now I think they're going to do something on
that
era. That's when I read the casting call. That's where my mind. Maybe I'm speculating, but I feel like
Bible era. Yeah,
I feel like I understand a lot of their references, and in my mind.
So, do you know who wrote the Righteous Gemstones? Are they ex-Christians or
Danny McBride? Yes, Danny McBride writes it, directs it, stars in it,
with
and
Jody
he
Hill,
grew up in the church in South Carolina.
Okay, so
he had that evangelical up through youth group type experience, which would have been the 90s and early 2000s. That would have been That's why he knows Power Team firsthand. He knows megachurch worship, Joel Osteen stuff firsthand.
Yeah,
because he grew up in it. Yeah,
yeah.
So funny.
It's an astute. Obviously we can't endorse all of the content in the show, but there are some reasonably astute observations about kind of Christian culture.
Yeah. All right. So if you want to go out for it, you can actually apply. There's a casting call information at relevantmagazine.com for this. If you want to go, and you have to be in South Carolina, and it'll be at the end of the month or something. So
I will say, I knew this show was going to nail it because years ago, Cameron, you and I were in Chicago, and we got invited to like this premiere event for it, and it was in like a fake big tent revival tent where you came in like
it was awesome.
like an old like Oral Roberts tent. Revival. You took a seat, one of those white little fold-out chairs, and it looked like a tent revival.
It was
they just played the first two episodes. Yeah, they played
premiere
the first
of it. It was awesome. All right, what do you have, Derek?
Well, speaking of end times, there's I don't know if you guys have heard about this. I didn't know about this until Emily sent this to me, but there's apparently companies that will take your persona and I guess analyze your persona, analyze what you look like, and it'll preserve you for the afterlife and send messages to people after you die.
Oh my gosh. It's like Star Wars, the little hologram
like
thing.
the little hologram thing. It's like or like a Superman, like his dad is in the ship and he goes and talks to his dad. So like very much like this. So that the people that are smarter than me, but we align and they say, hey, this isn't a great idea. Because what if somebody takes the persona and uses it to try to scam you? So imagine you get, a picture of me after I'm gone talking to my sons like, hey, you should invest in this crypto thing or invest in, and then they have this emotional like tornness.
Dad got
hacked, So what if your persona gets hacked and used after you're dead to mess with your family? I kind of agree with the people at Cambridge or, like this may not be a good application of AI, guys.
Yeah. I think the whole idea of like who owns your likeness, even if you're not like a celebrity who's like monetizing it, is going to be sort of the next forefront because not just with AI, but even like there's a really great podcast. Shout out to it's called Search Engine. If you guys are looking for a new pod, but they did an episode this week about Clearview AI, the company that is, it essentially scraped every social media website they could find for pictures of people. And now they have this tool. It's a facial recognition search. So they sell it to like police departments and stuff, and they can upload the picture of a suspect and it will tell them who that suspect is, give them links to their social media, and give them every piece of information about that person on the internet. So conceivably, you can walk down the street. Like they were given use cases for it where, you like if you were overhearing an interesting conversation at a restaurant and kind of took a picture of the person talking, you could upload it to this thing and it would tell you everything about that person using only facial recognition.
So it's not just like surveillance cameras, somebody shoplifted and security could, use that footage to this tool, then police could go get the lady at her house. You're talking about like people can use it to stalk other people, essentially.
Exactly. Or like if you match on someone on a dating site, want to make sure you're not getting catfish, you can upload that picture and it'll tell you who this person really is. But you could lose complete anonymity. Like, you could be anywhere and someone could know everything about you just by a picture of your face. So in European Union has already kicked Clearview AI out of European countries. But at the core of it, Derek, is the same thing, right? It's the same sort of conundrum, is who owns someone's likeness and what right do you have for your likeness not to be repurposed or not to be part of some sort of database that can either be turned into some sort of AI creation in the afterlife or to be referenced in, this database of humanity who exists. I think it's kind of the next legal forefront in a lot of technology.
Now imagine that place getting hacked. Like if they get hacked, buddy.
Yeah, they could label me a felon, and then I'm a felon now.
Exactly, man.
You know, like
it's a crazy thing.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't usually bring slices, but since we're short one person, I actually have one, and we're already in science class, so mine actually goes right along with this. That's the scary version of AI. Here's the good version of AI. A professor at ASU has developed an AI to elevate 3D printing. And this is really interesting. So he's working with industries like furniture designers, any industrial design type application. And he's developed an AI where he'll say, like, come up with a new kind of mid-century chair, and AI will design it, and then large scale 3D printers can just print out the chair that AI just designed.
That's dope.
This caught my attention because this week Cohen my son got a new 3D printer, and it's a pretty large one. It's not his old. He had one 10 years ago, and it was like could print basically 6x6 type object like trinkets. This one can print like a 2 foot by 1.5, like pretty big, like a helmet, like a football helmet type size things. Oh wow! Like stacked on top of each other, 2 of them, like it would be huge. Anyway, it can print, and the I have been blown away with the quality. Like the early generation 3D printers, it looked like stripes all over it. It was not refined. His new one, which did not cost very much, it was a few $100 on Amazon. It's flawlessly smooth prints. It's crazy, the quality, right? So he's just like, I said to him last night, I was like, you should do something for your mom for Mother's Day, like a vase or something like that, some plants. He went and designed this custom, beautiful vase and printed it out overnight. And he has a free, and it probably would have cost 20 cents of plastic. So he's going to spray paint it and like it look pretty and stuff. Anyway, I was just thinking about this too, watching the Met fashion stuff this week. There was one dress had like moving butterflies on it, and it was getting noticed because it was like a 3D printed element on this dress, right? And I have heard, like, I've been thinking about this conflation of AI and 3D printing, because if you remember, there was like, if you paid any attention online, there was like some Dua Lipa shots and like a Katy Perry shot of like stunning dresses at the Met Gala. The problem was they weren't at the Met Gala. They didn't go. And so this was like totally AI photos, right? And I was talking to Emily, I'm going, think about this. If AI could conceive these over the top, unbelievable dresses, imagine if designers could then just print out the dresses, because 3D printing can print biomaterial, digital material, metal material. I mean, you can print fabric because it's all connected threads. Imagine the day down the road where you could, like this guy, he's developed an AI for industrial design, furniture design, stuff like that. And I just go, I need a new chair. And you go, click, click. I like that one because AI just made it. And then you print it out at your house, or Amazon goes away, or fashion stores go away because I want a suit. AI knows my exact body, designs different suits. I can see it in 3D. That looks amazing on me. Click, and your large format home 3D printer prints out your bespoke suit. Sick. It's going to disrupt retail, shipping. Like the Jetsons were right. You're going to go click, click. I want a steak dinner, and it's going to 3D print you a steak dinner, and it's going to come out exactly the way you want.
Or imagine this: the AI gets so smart it says, "I'm tired of working for these humans. I'm going to take over the 3D printers, print a version of myself, and fight them." That could happen too.
I mean, and the 3D printed humanoid looks like your dead grandpa and sounds just like him.
And he's telling me to buy crypto.
Why is Grandpa beating me, Mom? Yeah.
First, AI grandma scams me into investing in crypto.
Dude, but can you imagine? I love thinking about stuff like this. The how fast it's moving. People are like, "Oh, that's some future fantasy." How fast 3D printing? If you just type in 3D printing and then click on the news filter and like just the 3D printing news or the AI and click on the news, it is moving so fast. That it's like, this is going to completely disrupt economies because you don't need to go to the mall to shop for clothes anymore that doesn't quite fit you. So there's an entire garment industry that could go away. There's shipping industries. What's the point of Amazon? I need a new pen cup holder. I'm not going to pay $10 on Amazon. I'm just going to pick a design I like and print it out at my house.
Look, I mean, the evolution of post-industrial revolution technology in general is insane. Like, much less when you inject a factor like AI. I mean, think about, you in the same lifetime, you could have been born when the Wright brothers flew their little hang glider off the sand dune, and in the same lifetime witness a person landing on the moon. That's the evolution of just aviation technology in one lifetime. Inject something like, I'm talking a hang glider to putting feet on the surface of the moon. That's a leap in one lifetime. Now inject something like an accelerant like AI. That imagine the leaps of not just creative
time
innovation,
traveling,
but
it's
but think about this, like in the early days of 3D printing, people were kind of saying, like, early adopters were kind of saying, like, oh, people could 3D print guns. Somebody could, like, well, they did in the dark web. They put plans online that you could download and then 3D print all the parts for a gun, and it'd be plastic or filament, so it wouldn't be detected by metal detectors. Oh no, Glocks. Da, da, da. Anyway, think about this. You could now just tell. So, in that version of 3D printing, you're limited to designs that somebody made and may sell to you. With AI, you could just tell AI, I need a weapon that will be undetected or whatever, that can kill or harm this way. AI will come up with the perfect weapon, make the plans, and you could print it out at your house.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, like, that's wild. The AI component takes 3D printing to like a whole other place, you know? So anyway,
it was supposed to be happy, Cameron. You went from saying, all right, we're going happy. And by the end of it,
it's a really cool looking chair.
From chair to secret weapon that no one can detect, made by a machine.
I mean, that's where it'll go. Or really good looking.
I liked it better when Cohen was making a vase for Mother's Day. You really took it in a dark direction.
Look at the link I just sent you. That's like a mid-century chair that AI designed and then a 3D printer printed out. Look at that link. Isn't that cool? Like, there's a good version of it and a good version of it.
Can I be honest? Here's the thing. The chair looks cool. Doesn't look very comfortable. You can tell AI doesn't have back problems.
Well, you can tell it, make it comfortable, and then AI would make it more comfortable. Anyway. All right, that'll do it for Slices. Make sure to check out relevantmagazine.com every weekday, where we are covering the intersection of faith, culture, and everything in between. All right, stay tuned. Up next, Crowder joins us.
Change the song, I think I've heard it before, and I don't feel the same as I did when it's over. Stop the presses, I forgot what I'd written about, and I don't have the will yet to change it.
You're listening to Hannah Vu. The song is Airplane.
Well, today's show is brought to you in part by the new book, God, the Science, the Evidence. We talk a lot about faith, but how often do we talk about science in the same breath? You might be surprised to discover just how deeply the two actually agree. For centuries, science has been used to dismiss the idea of God, but today an intellectual revolution is underway. Modern discoveries in physics, cosmology, and biology are consistently revealing the same truth: creation isn't an accident. That profound reversal is what engineers Michel-Yves Bolloré and Olivier Bonassi investigate in their international bestseller, God, the Science, the Evidence. This book is a rigorous, evidence-based critique of materialism, inviting you to explore over a dozen scientific, philosophical, and historical domains. It shows that what was once seemed impossible, that science could point to a creator, is now supported by a vast and convergent body of evidence. With over 400,000 copies sold in Europe, this book is sparking a global debate. It's thoughtful, fascinating, and a powerful reminder that reason itself affirms the existence of God. Learn more and find out where you can purchase your copy today by visiting godthesciencetheevidence.com.
Well, our guest today is David Crowder, the Grammy-nominated worship artist. Needs no introduction. He's written countless of worship staples like I Am, Come As You Are, Good God Almighty, so many more. He just released his latest single, Even in Exile, it's called. He didn't release it while he was in exile. He released his latest single, comma, quote, Even in Exile, end quote, off his upcoming album, Exile, which comes out May 31st. Ahead of the album's release, he sat down with Emily to talk about the new music, as well as how to find God even when he seems distant, and how we've got a clear mission to live out as Christians. Here's our conversation with David Crowder.
Saved by grace. This dead man, he ain't dead no longer, all because of that grave robber.
So you're about to drop The Exile, which is the second album out of the current trilogy. When did you start planning out this trilogy project?
Well, I kind of always work in threes because contractually that's what I, give myself over to the company for, so we'll sign a contract and it's a 3-record deal. And for me, I just need boundary. I need like something to work within, some confinement. And so I usually come into each record contract period kind of knowing my outline for me to write into. And so this outline period was like promise, return, and exile. I mean, promise, exile, return. So it's like a little 3-part deal. The first being promise was the milk and honey little get together that we rolled out. And so now we're headed into the exile and the return, which is quite fun.
Breaking my soul out of these chains. I'm a dead man living, and God did it.
So how does the exile fit into the narrative that you're creating with this trilogy?
We were talking about promise last, and it was also during the middle of COVID. It was a wonderful thing to be talking about when you're in lockdown. It's like, it's got to get better, right? But the whole narrative arc of Scripture is hey, where does it start? It's in the garden in perfect communion with your maker. Can't get better than this. And then suddenly it's like, you can stay here as long as you don't do one thing. And what do? The one thing we're told not to. Immediately you're booted. So like from the start of the story, exiles, it's in the story. And then over and over the narrative arcs and these little stories that tell the whole, it's like what happened, the first thing that happens is it builds up to Babylon, the building of this first city, and it's, oh gosh, this is foretelling where the Israelites wind up back in Babylon when they don't do what they're supposed to be doing. Moses and the Israelites, it's like, hey, as long as you follow us, you get the promised land. Then what do? You don't do the thing you're supposed to be doing, and you get booted. And it's just over and over the story of exile is told. But some of the most beautiful moments and stories in Scripture come from the exile. And you've got Daniel, all those wonderful stories about Daniel and the lion's den, and Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego. There they are in the furnace. Amazing. You've got Esther, who decides to be in the diaspora, the scattering. She's still in exile. What a beautiful story about the redemption of God. That even in the middle of displacement, there's the sovereignty and the deliverance for the God's people. That there's the activity of God when we feel like it's at our bleakest. Ezekiel, all of his visions of promise in heaven, and like the heavens open up to him. He's literally on the banks of the river in Babylon when heaven opens up and he sees it. There's just so much beauty in the moments of exile. So what it's exciting to me is all of these songs that are on the exile are really earthy and almost story-like. They're not as church oriented. I got into this whole music making thing by writing songs and helping the church sing. And I was when I was getting into this exile album, the songs that were coming weren't really church singing oriented. They weren't like liturgical church singing music, and I was confused by it. So I was like, oh, okay, this is like earthy storytelling stuff. And then all of a sudden there'd be this church song pop in. I'm like, whoa, that's messing everything up. Like, no, I've got it figured out. The exile is about not that. And what I realized is that the return, knowing that we had promised the exile and return, that the return songs were coming at the same time the exile songs were coming, which blew my mind. My favorite moments in doing what I've been doing are when I feel like I couldn't have come up with that, or like when I feel least in control or least calculated, when I'm surprised by the process. And this was completely I'm like, oh my gosh, well, no wonder I'm so confused. The return is coming at the same time the exile is, and how fitting and beautiful that you would have songs to sing in the moment when it feels bleak. And so it was really cool to see that the return album is going to be all, as I said, liturgical church type or group sing oriented, while the exile gets to enunciate hope even in the middle of displacement. And so I love that I'm getting surprised by the whole process. Like, I hope people get pulled into the story, and how it unfolds for me. I hope it unfolds for the people that get to partake and consume the music.
Even in exile.
To me, it seems like you're trying to sort of remind everyone that there is hope even in the exile. Is that something that you think people are struggling with right now?
Oh, good. Well, it feels, if you look around at everything, we know there's a sense that we are displaced, that we look around and see what's broken, like the ground beneath our feet's broken, earthquakes and tsunamis. And nature's at us a lot of the time. And then, of course, we as humans tend to disrupt, and it doesn't look a lot like the intentions of God when we look at, open our phone or turn on the TV. It's rough out there. And even in our everyday life, we see that the intentions of God are really difficult to find a lot of times. And so to be able to create songs that let us, even in exile, even in the brokenness, remind ourselves that there is redemption, that there is a intention that's afoot. There's something afoot that is beautiful, and we can be part of it and partake in it. And if we just lend our story to the bigger story, the grander story. And that's what we're trying to sing about.
Right. And I feel like people, they don't like thinking about the moments where they feel distant from God. But it seems like that was actually something that you were really digging into and kind of wrestling with on this album.
That's great. That reminds me that there's a Billy Graham quote. I'm going to get it wrong, but I read it somewhere that's, the mountaintop gives us a great view, but the fruit is grown in the valleys. And I think that for me is absolutely the case. Is, I find that the growth and the things that I look back on that, oh my goodness, I didn't see what was afoot, speaking in the same language. I didn't see what was afoot in the middle of it, but man, there is beauty when you look at what happened when it was difficult. That's where the growth, I think, it comes.
I did want to talk about two of the songs you've already released, Grave Robber and Dash. On those, it seems like you are talking about just kind of wrestling with making the most of our life before it's over. And I was wondering, is that something you think about a lot, this tension between life and death?
No, I'm super morbid. No, I think I deflect like most of us. I try not to. I tend to find the lighter side of life, and I'm usually not very disturbed about my mortal end. But I probably should think about it more. And I think there's these moments where we're forced into that contemplation, that most of what we do and how we organize is just in order to distract from the reality, because then that makes us ask really bigger questions. Is like, so, well, what am I doing here? I love it that's the question that we ask in the Dash song, is then what on earth am I doing, man? I gotta get it together. I think that's usually how it goes. And the beautiful part about carrying faith in the medium of music is that we get to say you're not going to get it together. That's the whole point of the gospel, is that you can't get it together, and thankfully there's a solution to that, and in the person of Christ, and in the redemptive act that brings us back into communion with our Maker, and we can live in a different way. We can be a different type of human, one that was closer to the dreams of God. So no, I don't typically think about that, but it tends to find its way in my music quite often. I think that's what those are the true moments that when you get to be, in a discussion and a contemplation of such heavy things. For me, it's wonderful to be able to have an outlet that I can express it and hopefully bring people into that same contemplation that typically we wouldn't be having. We wouldn't be having that discussion. But we're talking about the guy in the grave robbers. We're talking about the guy who can speak your name and call you from death to life, and to be able to organize words and sounds that help us remember that. I'm happy and honored and humbled to get to do that. That's part of what I love about this whole thing.
The hands of Jesus, so precious and strong. They can calm the seas, they can right your wrongs. The hands of Jesus.
That was David Crowder. Make sure to check out Crowder's new album, Exile, when it releases May 31st. And check out, I think there's 3 singles out right now. Even in Exile is the brand new one. Okay, stay tuned. Up next, it's Hot Takes.
If you get low and you need my touch, you can call me up, honey, you can call me up. If you need a rush, call me up, call me up. I'm a little drunk and I don't need much, you can call me up, honey, I can sober up. Call me up, just call me up.
You're listening to Daydreamers. The song is Call Me Up. Well, today's podcast is brought to you in part by the new book, Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic. Author Jonathan Seidel knows firsthand how even believers can get stuck in shame and destructive habits, especially when it comes to one of society's biggest obsessions, alcohol. In Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic, he details his spiral into disordered drinking and shares the 4-step process he eventually used to break free. There's hope for alcoholics who become Christians and for Christians who become alcoholics. Find Confessions of a Christian Alcoholic wherever books are sold. What if you could change a child's life with just $10? Right now, thousands of vulnerable children in East Africa are suffering from jiggers. It's a painful, preventable parasite that burrows into their feet. Soul Hope is the only organization treating it through foot washing, medical care, and durable closed-toed shoes that protect kids long after treatment. $10 may not seem like much in today's world, but when we come together, those small gifts add up to big change. Join the 10 for 10 campaign. $10 protects 10 small toes. Visit soulhope.org/10 to give now. One small gift makes a big difference. Again, that's soulhope, SOLE, hope.org/TEN. Okay, it's time for
It's hot takes.
Hot Takes. We've done this a few times. Earlier in Slices, we were talking about AI. So we had AI write some hot takes. And I'm just going to say what the hot take that AI came up with, and you guys tell me what you think. That's it. Pretty easy. Here we go. A hot dog is a sandwich. AI has kept with its obsession with food themed hot takes. You do.
I disagree that.
Is a taco a sandwich? It's the same.
Exactly. Where's the line here? Where's the line?
You agree a taco is a sandwich?
No, a quesadilla is a sandwich. It's grilled cheese. Taco is one piece of bread. It's
a taco and a hot dog are the same thing.
True. Very true.
What's the difference?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, okay.
Meat.
Burger's a sandwich, though. Burger is absolutely a sandwich.
I disagree. I think
hot dog is a taco.
Again, like it's here. Okay, here's
that's going to be my new answer when people do this.
Here's what I'll say. There's the Supreme Court back in the day was arguing where the line between free speech and obscenity was, right? And a lawyer said, how do you know when something is obscene? And the justice says, you just know it when you see it. And that was the legal argument for obscenity, right? Like what between like nudity and art or something that's graphic. And he said, sometimes you just know it when you see it. That's my thing with the sandwich. Sometimes you just know it when you see it. It's not a hot dog. Like if you want me to break it down, I'm sorry. There's bread involved. There's meat. There's a protein. I'm not going to sit here and do that. I'm just saying when I see a hot dog, it's not a sandwich. You know it when you see it.
It's a taco. All right. Next one. AI came up with everything can be classified into either a sandwich or a salad.
What about pasta?
What about mashed potatoes?
A bowl of spaghetti?
Yeah, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get that. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
Hard pass on that. I barely ever eat it. And I watched Jerry Seinfeld's breakfast movie. It made me like it less. Yeah. Like,
is it terrible? I'm afraid to watch it.
It's bad. It's a hard
The
pass.
preview looked bad. The previews look terrible.
I didn't finish. I after 45 minutes, I fell asleep and I was like, I'm not coming back to this. Like, it just never really established what it was going for comedy wise. You know?
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is a great actor.
Agree.
That's not a hot take. That's just an observation.
Facts. Facts.
Cold showers are better than hot showers.
That's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie
Joe
from the pit of hell.
Robot said that. Yeah.
Cooking for one is harder than cooking for four.
I think that's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's
Yeah.
just tough to buy ingredients for one.
Yeah.
Horses should be house pets.
No.
What's AI coming? What's AI doing?
What kind of house is this? Elon Musk
That's
house?
a lot of poop in the house. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's just the smell alone discounts that as well.
Now it's asking squirrels should be legally made pets. What's it trying to get in our houses? It's trying to get.
I don't feel like it has our best interest in mind.
Snakes are adorable. We've just been told that they're scary.
No, there's nothing adorable about
It's
a snake.
trying to get us bit. It's trying to get us
Wants us
like
to be
rabies.
having horses in our house with snakes all around. Most people would have a pet shark if they could. What does it do?
No, they
I'm
wouldn't.
telling you, it has sinister
No, they
intentions.
would not.
This AI has very sinister
What
intentions.
are these
trying to
prompts?
get it-
What prompt did you put in?
Literally, Emily did this, and she just put in like, "Give me 30 hot takes." That's it. And this is what AI has strong feelings about: is that
It
humans
clearly wants
should
to
make
kill us.
pets of sharks. Mosquitoes should go extinct. Who needs them?
The what?
I don't disagree with that, but I'm sure there'd be some
Mosquitoes.
ecological, like result that would probably be very.
It
negative.
in the world.
I don't know because like in I don't know if it's Florida or it was Texas or something. I heard on NPR the other day, it's coming into summer mosquito season.
Yeah.
And one of the ways that they're combating the spread of the mosquitoes in whatever part of the country it was, is they were releasing 60,000 sterile male mosquitoes into the wild.
I don't
Because then
like
when
it.
they breed with the women, they die off and it ultimately generationally will kill off the mosquitoes.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I
don't think that's a
know if
great
that's-
idea.
I think
Messing
think-
with nature always concerns me.
Have you guys ever seen that Black Mirror episode where they accidentally killed all the bees and they made the mechanical ones, and then AI took over the mechanical bees, and the mechanical bees used their hive mind to see who was being canceled by cancel culture, and then started targeting those people and murdering them? That's where this is going.
Oh my
Spoiler
goodness
alert,
gracious!
great
That's
episode of
a
Black Mirror.
Heck of a episode. I never heard of that one.
I'm telling you, it's enlightening.
Peyton Manning was a better quarterback than Tom Brady.
No.
I wish that was true, but it's not.
The roast of Tom Brady was pretty great, though. Everybody was funny.
Yeah, I feel like a roast of Peyton Manning would be funny too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's hilarious. Games should not have slow motion replays.
I actually agree. I at watching these NBA finals and having them review so many calls has made me a believer in this hot take. Please,
I disagree
just play the game.
completely.
Yes.
I get the call right. I don't care. I'm a justice guy. Truth should be known. Like, get the call right. That's my
You
thing.
could slow down every other play in a lot of sports.
No, they put boundaries
quibble.
on it. They put boundaries on it. They have a limited number of times they do it.
I know, but what I'm saying is, if that's the case, then there could be a lane violation every time. And they never call. Well, I'm against it. Let them play.
Michael Jordan is an overrated player.
Wow.
AI, come on. That's a hot take for
Wow.
AI.
Wrong.
I saw somebody say something the other day on this GOAT debate that I think is actually the right answer. It's different eras. It's apples and oranges. You can't directly compare them, but observationally, the people who unequivocally say Jordan's the GOAT versus the people who unequivocally say, LeBron, or there's people who say Kareem. It's who you saw first. It was your era of watching basketball. When I was in my youth, I watched Michael Jordan. I saw the championships. I was blown away. He's amazing. He's the best. And everything after that. It's like people who grew up with the Beatles. All music after the Beatles pales to the Beatles in their mind. You know what I mean? But then the people who got into music 20 years later, those bands were influenced by the Beatles, but they evolved from the Beatles. So younger generations would say music has gotten better since the Beatles. So I think it's just that. It's like who you saw first, right?
Yeah, I think there's something to that, but I also, but I think there are psychological differences between Jordan and LeBron specifically that
I agree.
That set him apart in terms of just winning.
I agree. That's interesting. Derek, you have strong thoughts. You're a Pistons fan.
I don't know. Like, for me, had LeBron won 2 more championships, I'm gonna take him over Jordan. Like, it's I think the thing, but then at the same time, I always jump into the idea of like building a solid team is not LeBron's job. That's the team he's on. Jordan definitely benefited from great front house management, which made him have the ability to shine. So in those split decisions, it took a lot away. You know, LeBron is like carrying the whole team on his back, coaching on the floor, doing all these things at the same time. Like, I wonder what happens if we put Bron in a spot where there's not the internet that's jawing at everything, that's influencing decisions. Or what if we put Jordan in today's NBA? Like, what happens? Like, he benefits from not having all of the press every single day, all of those different things, you know, as like that's a hard thing to carry.
But I will say again, and this is impossible to, you know, actually ascertain, but Jordan played with, I feel like, an aggression that outside of maybe Kobe, we just haven't seen. And where I feel like, what's that?
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards is
young.
got that dog in him.
Where exactly, where it's like, it's not just I want to win. Like, here's the difference. All right, and that
he's the Kendrick Lamar. He doesn't want to just win. He wants to destroy you, your family, your reputation.
I don't think what made Jordan great is that he loved winning. I think what makes LeBron great is he loves winning. I think what made Jordan great is a hatred for losing. I think he hated losing more than he loved winning, like an absolute hatred for it. Like it ate him alive to lose. Where I don't know if LeBron, I don't know if a lot of these guys, it eats them alive.
LeBron will still go to dinner with the guys after that just beat him.
Jordan would not.
Ever.
Jordan would be, or Kobe. Kobe would be in the weight room after a loss. Like Jordan
LeBron would be on a banana boat with other star players.
That would never happen to him.
I don't know, man. They say the man spends $1 million in the offseason on his body. A person that is that invested in the offseason, it's hard for me to think. I think that's a narrative around him. But you see the investment that goes into him being at peak potential around the clock. I mean, the guy's 40 years old and he's, top five in the league, top 10 for sure. You know what I mean? As a leader of a team. So I don't know if that's completely, I just think he's not as emotive as Jordan and Kobe. Like Kobe and them, I think Bron wants to he reminds me more like Magic Johnson's temperament. But I don't think that just because he has that temperament that he doesn't have a commitment to winning and hating losing. I think he hates it. Like, there's no way that you're spending that much money on yourself and all of that just because you want to give it a good shot. He's trying to win. I think he just has a different mentality to it.
But my thing is, and I think this is beyond sports, and I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I think it's just an observation. I think that temperament is the commonality of people who are at the top of everything. Like someone like a Steve Jobs or someone like, there's something a little off. You know what I mean? Like where they lack a degree of just empathy, and all they see is a goal and nothing stops them. Where I don't know if LeBron has that. He seems to. His humanity seems to ever present, where someone like a Jordan or a Kobe, it's like they lack a degree of humanity.
Jordan still hasn't spoken to Isaiah Thomas. I mean, like,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's something wrong.
Jordan
something
kept
wrong
him
with
off the dream team. Like Barkley said on Club Shay Shay this week that they was asking about the dream team, and like Barkley's like, I didn't hear it firsthand, but I heard from other teammates that the reason why Isaiah was not on that team and John Stockton was because Jordan said, it's him or me. Like, I'm not going to play.
He talked about it in Last Dance.
That's right. Yeah.
He like I said, there's a degree of like pettiness and like
that's
just
like
lame.
Honestly, that's just lame.
But really, but you know what I'm saying?
That's lame.
I like it
because somebody whooped you. You don't want to play with them. Like, that's lame for the USA team. Like that's lame to me. Like, it's like that's corny.
But I mean, but like I said, look at someone like a Steve Jobs, and you could probably rattle off a whole bunch of like, you cross them once and they never forget it. And and they will be at the top and nothing will stop them, for better or for worse. Yeah. I don't think LeBron has that. I do think there are,
to me, that's insecurity. People, like, all right, so we're not playing each other. We're not playing each other. We're actually trying to beat the rest of the world. So my focus is beating the rest of the world. why would I not want the guy that just whooped me? Like, it's like, no, we're trying to beat the rest of the world. We're not, but to me, that's insecurity. You're afraid. Now, this is a Pistons fan speaking, so, it might be a little more sensitive to me. I'm like, you afraid of the guy, you afraid of getting outshined by the guy that just whipped the brakes off of you. You know what I mean? Like, you petty like that. Like, that's corny.
But it is that pettiness. Like, even in the last thing, and I've watched it like 4 times because I just love that era of basketball and it's so well made.
Yeah.
But there is a scene in it where he's talking about going into the finals, and I can't remember what team it was. I want to say it was someone on like Utah, who Jordan said in an interview, I heard this guy said this about me, that I can't, do this.
And it wasn't true.
And it wasn't true. And they asked the player, they're like, do you say? He's like, I never said that. And they asked Jordan later. He goes, Did he really say that? He goes, no. But he needed something to motivate himself.
Yeah, he needed motivation.
He needed to manufacture something so that he's driven by pettiness and hatred. And to a degree, so is Kobe. Like, they weren't driven. Like, I feel like LeBron's
clearly.
Exactly. They're not motivated by being number one. They're motivated by crushing anyone who threatens to be number one.
Yeah, for sure. That's crazy.
And that's the difference. And I'm not saying that is a good thing, but I think that's what sets a lot of those guys. Wow. I mean, listen, this is going to get hot here. Even when you see someone like, Cameron, edit this out if you want, but like, even when you see like a weird personality trait in someone like a Trump or something, like, he's motivated by vengeance, not by like just self-success. It's I'm taking down the people who tried to take me.
And he has to have the most beautiful women, the most money, the most power, like,
not for his own sake,
right?
But because other people see that he's better. Like, you see this weird personality quirk in some people that is, I'm not saying it's good.
Right.
I'm just saying if we're having this hot take conversation.
But if I'm hearing you right, you're saying if you think Jordan is the greatest, you're MAGA. That's what you're saying?
I'm saying the greatest basketball player.
Bro, you threaded that from way across the room. I don't know how that thread got all the way down.
I'm just talking about the personality.
Trump's the same way, right?
I didn't say, but here's the thing. I didn't say I liked it about him. I'm saying this is an observation about like people that achieve certain levels of success and sustain it aren't always driven by the love of success. They're driven by either vengeance. The same thing with Kendrick, manufacturing conflict. Like, they want to continually beat people. They don't continually want to win. They've won everything. Now they just have to find new targets to beat. And that, I do think that's a common personality trait in some people.
I see it.
You've reframed it for me. You're dead on, dude.
I see it.
I think we should just end hot takes there, because saying it doesn't matter which way the toilet paper roll goes on the roll probably isn't a good way to end it after that conversation.
Yeah, I like just ending it here.
Yeah. And by the way, it has to go over the top in the front, not in the back.
It's like, okay, I'm going to end it with this. Hans Gruber, and this is misappropriated to Napoleon, but in Die Hard, what did he say was the driving force? He said, when Napoleon won his last battle, that was when he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer. He wasn't after winning. He wanted more battles. He wanted more winning. When there's no more worlds to conquer, that's when it's over. And if there aren't any more enemies, manufacture an enemy. Like, that's why
so many professional athletes struggle after they aren't playing anymore. They don't have any more battles. They don't have, so a lot of them get into coping mechanisms. A lot of them find competitiveness in like betting and gambling and stuff like that. But they need that fight, that thing to win again. And
that was a good point, Jesse. The desire, not the desire to win, but that desire to destroy the competition.
Keep you from winning.
I want to keep you from winning. Yeah.
And I really do think that is, like, you can see shades of that in the Kendrick thing. Like,
That's
it's
wild,
not that
man.
he wants to
seen
be
that side of it. That's really good analysis.
You know what I mean? But it's the same. But like I said, even like I said, someone like a Steve Jobs or some of these business people that are like, there's something a little off about this guy. It's because he wants to destroy anything in its path. And that is the motivation. You know what I mean?
That also gives a great perspective on Trump for me too, because it's like I was like, what's the deal here? And it makes sense. It's like he has to have an enemy. Like there's no such thing as like I don't have an enemy. Like there's an enemy somewhere, and I'm going to lock in on that person.
Another candidate, another world leader, another an issue. He has to win the issue.
The media, like whatever, the enemy of the people. Like if there is no enemy, we'll have to manufacture one, because we're not driven by achievement. We're driven by conflict. You know what I mean? Like
Jordan was like that.
I think
Jordan was like that. He wanted to fight.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why I think that's why when you say like the greatest, I think if you want one of those guys on your team, it's the guy who is going to,
refuse to lose. Like he will will you to victory.
Everything to him. Yeah, exactly.
That's who. If I had it, you're right. If I had the two of them in their prime and I had to pick one for my team to build a dynasty, I would pick Jordan.
Yeah,
give me the killer. Give me the killer.
Yeah, exactly. But if it's like, which one would I want is like in my family or as like my dad or something? Yeah, obviously I'm not going to go with the one who's a little psycho, But if you're just saying on the court,
Jordan's psycho. He was.
He definitely was.
I don't see LeBron as psycho.
Nah,
I thought it was
LeBron's a
interesting
good
when
guy.
you said. I thought it was interesting that you said the difference is LeBron loves winning and Jordan hates losing. That's the edge difference.
It's different.
And take that thread
and I love winning, which is why I'm going to spend $1 million to be at my peak, my best. I love winning, but it's not. I'm spending this money because I hate losing.
Apply it to like that kind of Trumpian type of like thing. It's like it's not that he loves being president. He hates not being president. There's a difference. You know what I mean? It's not like
not having the power and the respect and the I can do whatever I want. Everybody has to do what I say.
It wasn't for love of the achievement. It was hatred of someone else having it. You know, like he articulates that. He literally says he's driven by retribution. Like,
Well, I mean, in real estate and business, it's win at all costs, burn bridges, who cares? I'm on to the next, like you were weak. I was strong. I won that deal. He wasn't trying to do win-win deals.
No.
Yeah. I think that's a common thread with people that are, in certain places. I'm sure there's some sort of social science behind it, but anyway, this is fun.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us. Well, before we wrap things up, I want to thank David Crowder for joining us today. Make sure to check out Crowder's new album, Exile, when it releases May 31st. And if you can't wait, you can head over and check out the first 3 singles, which are out now. Okay, on that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Derek Miner.
We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week, everyone.
Thanks for listening to the Relevant Podcast. Check out our features, interviews, and news updates every day at relevantmagazine.com. And make sure to follow Relevant on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for the latest. For more great podcasts, browse the shows on the Relevant Podcast Network, which you can find at our site. And while you're there, don't miss the all-new era of Relevant Magazine. A new issue releases every other month at relevantmagazine.com.
Didn't he have a skateboard in the bed?
Relevant Podcast Network.